Anti-aging. How to hit it in the face without breaking a nail. Up next.
Get ready for the real estate show that takes you across the barriers and into the danger zone. That Bitchin' Real Estate Podcast with your host, Tenacious T.
It's Kimberly Toko, Tenacious T, with some very special guests today to talk about anti-aging and the many things we can do to stay looking fresh.
Hi, Dr. Robert Bonillas here in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm a board-certified plastic surgeon. My practice is scottsdaleplastics.com. I'm on Instagram at Dr. Bonillas, DRBONILLAS.
And he's the only man that touches my face.
I'm Ashlee Miller, and I've been a makeup artist in the Valley for 18 years, and I am part of the Secret Botox Society.
Ooh. And I have a total girl crush on this woman. I've had it for years.
Hi, Wendy Ortiz. I'm with Coldwell Banker, and I'm a realtor, and I'm a 50-something. So exciting today to talk about all the nuances of the beauty and fears that brings.
Yes. And as a woman in her late 40s, I am faced with that on a daily basis as I look into the mirror. And doctor, obviously this is what you do for a living. And I know that the industry spends $270 billion per year on anti-aging. What would you say the percentage of men are now? Mm.
Well, it was very low a few years ago, but I'll tell you, within the last year, the interest for men for plastic surgery has increased substantially. So I would say right now in my practice, about 20%.
Wow. Oh. Yeah.
And it used to be about maybe 5% a couple years ago.
Yeah, for sure. And Ashlee, you have both a skincare line, a makeup line. This is definitely in your wheelhouse. What would you say? What are you seeing with males in the industry?
Well, it's funny that you ask because I primarily do makeup for weddings, and I have noticed that the grooms are actually getting makeup. They're coming in, they want their eyebrows filled in, they want a little gloss, maybe even a little mascara so their eyes
love
pop.
That.
And I never really would have thought that I would be doing makeup on grooms as well.
I think that's fascinating. Yes. It's like the Renaissance era.
I love it.
And you know, Wendy, you and I look at my husband and I'm like, can you just please get some damn Botox? How do you feel about the male?
Well, I have to say, there's a huge X in the road when you do turn a certain age, and I have to say I do like a more natural-looking man. Mm-hmm. I really, really do. But I do think the stigma is being shifted, as you just talked a little bit about what you guys are seeing in your industry. I like a man all natural.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I still want my husband to come in and see Dr. Bonillas.
Honey, when you listen to this, may I interject?
Yes.
Yes.
So I get that a lot. Natural, right? I mean, I think, define natural.
Yes.
Well, actually, I know exactly where you're headed with this now. I suppose I just don't want him to look like Burt Reynolds or like a cat. I don't want him to, I want him to keep I think aging is very sexy. Yeah. And I think that's a great point that you just interjected.
Sure, I agree. I think, natural, I do agree with the natural look. I am not about doing anything that is going to change the actual appearance of someone in terms of an unnatural look, pulled in a certain direction, too much cheekbone, too much filler or volume in areas that it shouldn't be. But when my patients come to see me, and especially men, is that, they don't want people to know that they're getting this work done. Yes. So natural is the way to go. And you can be very natural with a lot of these procedures that I do as a plastic surgeon.
Well, I need to point out, though, that plastic surgeons will say that, but you're the real deal. There's one reason why I came to you and one reason why I stay, and that's because you value the symmetry of my natural face and try not to change it so much. You just want me to look a little rested.
Yes,
refreshed.
Absolutely.
And when you're approached with people that want to obviously go beyond that, you're going to respect that. But you've always been the one to really talk about being natural and aging naturally. Does that exist?
Yes. And how? Yes. I mean, we can't stop the aging process but we can definitely slow it down. And with the things that we're doing in our lives, we're still going to age. I mean, if someone can invent something to stop aging, hey, man.
Oh, yeah. Fountain of youth.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but the key is to just slow it down.
Yeah.
You can reverse the clock a little bit, but, it's just slowing that aging with just minor things that you can do. Simple stuff that you can do, even at home.
So
without
I know
plastic surgery.
I know that I've been doing the Botox for a while, 10 years. You have switched me up a little bit to Dysport, and there's a new one. What's the new one?
Jovo.
Jovo.
Is the new
yes.
one.
I don't know about this yet.
So there's four neuromodulators or neurotoxins on the market right now. Obviously, Botox. Everyone knows Botox. And then the Dysport or Dysport or however you want to pronounce it, tomato. And then there's also Xeomin, which is the third one. And then the newest one, which just came out this year, is Jovo.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
I just tried that the last time. So far, I'm looking fantastic.
Yeah, you are.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And the other thing I do is a little filler. And I have to really give you kudos there because a lot of doctors at your level, your expertise, they don't do the fillers so much anymore, but you do. And you're an artist at it. It's a beautiful thing to come out of your office looking the way I do.
Thank you.
Why do you insist on staying in that space as well?
I enjoy doing fillers, and I think it's part of the overall improvement aesthetically for a patient and for my patients, because I'm a surgeon and I like to cut. Yes, I love being in surgery, but not everyone needs surgery.
Right.
But everyone needs anti-aging.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether it be skincare or whether it be, some minimally invasive procedures such as Botox or fillers. So I enjoy doing that. It's very artistic, and you can really just do some really awesome rejuvenation with these minimally invasive procedures.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ashlee, again, someone that I've watched for years, I really appreciate how you just break it down. You break it down to the bare skin and what you need to do to heal from the skin out. And then you do talk about fillers and Botox. Please tell me your view on that and how we can approach it more naturally and gently.
So I have one saying, your makeup only looks as good as your skin underneath. And when I tell people that I get Botox and fillers, like, oh my gosh, you're so young. I can't believe you've been doing that. I'm like, I'm almost 40. But because I started early, prevention versus correction. I think a lot of us, or people in my age group, are trying to correct instead of prevent. So that's a huge deal for me. So yes, I may appear that I look a little bit younger, but I've been doing it for, like you said, over 10 years.
Yeah.
I've been getting fillers and Botox. And if it's something that you want to venture into, you can definitely start off light. I mean, you don't have to get the big, huge duck lips right away. You can start with, and you can say it's not, what's the very light one you put on your lips that starts with a V?
Vobella is one of them, made by Allergan or the Juvederm line.
And it's so nice and natural and soft looking. And then if you want to go bigger, you can.
Yeah.
I think it's so important to have a skincare regimen. Men and women, men need to have this too, a skincare regimen that you do every single morning and every single night. And honestly, it's okay, to be vain.
It is.
It is. I'm so vain. I don't want a wrinkle. The moment I see one, I'm like, oh, I got to go back and get my Botox again. I have no shame in looking forever young. That's what I want to be forever young.
And I just kind of want to slap you because you are beautiful. Wendy. Yeah. It's different. For me, I'm approaching the 50s. You've passed the 50s, and there's some stuff going on with my face, and I'm like, what is this? Please, let's discuss that.
Well, it's interesting because there's a point where you can sort of control, and there's a point where it just sort of takes on its own lizard eyes life, and it just so you have to come to a place of acceptance in some things. And then I wish 10 years difference, if I had known about what you're talking about, Ashlee, starting in preventative, which one of my daughters is an esthetician, she's doing preventative now. Had I known, I don't know what I would look like now. I don't know. So I think that I'm catching up a little bit just as far as trying to stay natural and also understanding the product. I've thought about my lips, but it makes me nervous. I don't want to look like you see on some of the social media. So there is that fear of, what do I do? What do I do? Where do I go? Who do I see?
I'm sitting next to him.
Right?
You're not the only
now
one.
I know.
All my patients come in and
Yeah.
they say, I'll never get my lips done because I don't want to have duck lips. I'm like, well, that's what you're seeing out in social media and out on television. I said, not everyone that performs lip augmentations is going to give you duck lips.
When you have the ability to do like a half a syringe, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like where you can do
I
a
mean,
little
you can
bit,
do trouble.
wait,
This
This
a
could
little
be a
bit
trouble
more.
conversation, you guys. I will tell you, all I do is my 11 lines. And this last time, and I only do it about twice a year because I'm so nervous. But I said, go ahead, and I think she literally did 3 and 3. And I was like,
Botox? Yeah. Your mouth?
and right
I'm
here,
confused.
just to just
Yeah.
the
Were you
idea.
drooling?
A little.
Yeah.
After about, when it takes place, I'm like, I can, like, trying to keep the liquid in my mouth, but just a little bit. And I thought, oh God, I don't want to have that.
Well,
so I don't know what to experience.
It's experience because you have to inject it in the correct areas because, you will have that weakness of your muscle around your mouth.
Like a dentist, when you go to the
do a
dentist.
little too much.
Yeah.
But, it's not about how much filler is injected. It's about the technique and where it's injected.
Yes.
Oh.
That's
It's
so
how
true.
it's injected. Because you say half a syringe, but I say I'll use a whole syringe. And if you tell me
Yeah.
that you want to be very natural and don't want to have duck lips, I'll use a whole syringe, and I guarantee that you're not going to have duck lips.
He just did an
Really?
entire syringe on my mouth, and my mouth looks very natural. And what he did is, well, I wasn't watching
does.
him, but he got all of the
Up
wrinkles
here.
out.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
exactly where I'm sitting. Now, did you do top and bottom?
On this one, he did, yes. This will last me like a year, though.
Really?
Well, I'm kind of... I'm hoping it'll last a year, but my body, I exercise a lot. I eat really
Metabolizes
clean.
it.
It goes through average, I would say, 8 months?
Approximately.
On
That's
that.
good.
But this is an example because I do get a lot of questions. Kim, what do you do to your face? And honestly, it's because I'm doing it naturally and I see it coming on and I communicate with my doctor, don't change my face, but make sure you take this out. And that's key, right? Communication.
Absolutely.
When it comes to skincare, there's a lot out there, doctor.
A lot. It's very confusing.
Overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming. I'm sure you're
Yeah.
overwhelmed with makeup, but what I tell my patients is don't spend your money buying a fancy jar at a department store because it's not going to do anything for you. You're going to waste your money. Go to a clinic that sells a skincare line that has been proven clinically to change and to transform your skin. And there's not a lot of skincare lines that do that.
Right.
There's very few. So
Yeah.
you got to really do your research and look for those particular skincare lines because there are so many skincare lines.
So
Yeah.
if you had to buy one, what would be your suggestion?
Well, I've always used Obagi, which
that's
is
the
a
one.
well-known skincare line. The original Obagi is when I came out and I started my practice, I started using that very aggressive skincare line. I no longer use that. I use what I refer to as the second generation Obagi. It's a ZO skincare line. It's got a lot of clinical evidence that it works fantastic. It rejuvenates. It's awesome.
I use it.
use it every day. My family uses it. My patients use it, and it works.
Ashlee, tell us about your skincare line.
So my skincare line doesn't have all of the crazy fancy. It's very natural, very organic. Every ingredient you can read, you can pronounce, and you know what it is. For the most part, you know what it is.
Yeah.
However, I'm not addicted to my skincare line. I
Right.
think it's just a very soft, gentle line that is great for somebody who's just starting, that may have sensitive skin or just not really quite sure. The price point is very low and very affordable because that's another challenge.
Yeah.
The pricing.
Yeah.
Good skincare is expensive.
My husband
And-
has not seen the bills.
No.
No.
And
I've had this for years.
yeah, forever. But I also want to say that with skincare, I rotate. So I don't use the
too.
same thing. So I have really bad melasma, or I did. I eventually have been correcting it. But I also break out sometimes.
Yeah.
So when I'm having that breakout, I'll go to my breakout cream. And when I'm not, I'm using my cream for my melasma. So, and then at night, I use a different skin or eye cream than during the day. And so I have a lot of different products from different companies that I use. And that took a lot of time to figure out, because I feel like if you use the same skincare every single day, it's not going to attack all of the issues.
Yeah,
So to intertwine different lines and products it's totally okay. You don't have to stick to one, in my opinion.
I agree with Ashlee about you have to change it up because you can't stay constant with the same skincare line, especially if you're using products for your melasma, such as hydroquinone or retin-A's and stuff. So you got to give your skin breaks from those. So yes, absolutely agree with changing it up. However, mixing and matching from different skincare lines can be a little confusing if you don't do it correctly, because it could lead to a lot of skin issues such as breakouts and lots of other.
You definitely have to understand your skin. And
so don't be mixing 3 different lines together in one day. It's kind of, yes, exactly.
You could do it, but you've got to be good at how to do that.
So we've got a gentle skincare line, which is probably great, like you said, for entry level. But I know Wendy and I mean, for me, I'm starting to approach this a little more aggressively. Wendy, would you want to go on the gentle, or do you want to just hit it? And what lotion do you want to go with? Is what I'd say.
I'm not going to tell you what I use because you guys might be horrified.
Oil Valet.
I was just going to say that.
Tell us. You have to tell us now.
It is. It's the SPF one. I know that there's some issues with having SPF in your moisturizer. I just love the way it feels and wears. I know. I know, but it's my truth.
It's easy, right? Ooh. And it's everywhere.
Yes.
And it's cheap and
not so much cheap. Yep. I've gone to the expensive and been like, I don't.
When you say expensive,
I've spent $100, $120, and I've been like
on Pawns.
Oh no! When I
but when you've actually
when I thought, I'll try this, and then it didn't give me the tactile, or there's a whole nother
texture and
the
smell.
Sense, and so. That's
so
true.
This is why expensive at department stores or wherever does not mean it's
exactly.
It's like the wine bottle. Sometimes I just grab it.
It looks
for the
pretty.
Label.
Yes,
sometimes
absolutely.
So
well, that brings up when she said wine bottle. It totally just triggered one of the things, and I want to power this and drive this in hardcore. Is I've done makeup on so many people, and I look at their skin like it's so dry, and ask them how much water are you drinking.
Yeah,
that's number one.
Yeah,
whether it's skincare or not, if you're not drinking half your body weight in water. Your skin is just going to shrivel up like a little raisin. You have to drink water. That's number one every single day before even considering skincare, in my opinion.
And that includes cutting out alcohol, people.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But I did cut out wine a little bit.
We talked about that.
I'm doing pretty good with this.
I switched to vodka water with fresh fruit.
Nice.
Okay,
nice.
good girl.
So I'm dehydrating and hydrating at the same time.
There is a procedure that I'm going to be doing with you, Doctor, that I've been talking about doing for, I think, 2 years now.
Right.
And we're actually going to do it. We're doing it this month, I think.
Oh, gosh.
We're going to be doing a little threading. What's the correct term for that?
Yeah, the general term is threading. It's becoming pretty popular.
Yes.
Threads instead of facelifts,
Yes.
right? You've heard of that.
Yes.
You've heard of the incisionless facelift and, no downtime facelift with threads. Okay, please. It's not a facelift. I've seen other practices actually market it as the incisionless facelift.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you market it that way, you're going to have a lot of unhappy patients because first and foremost, it's not a facelift.
No.
So it's really intended. They're what we call barbed threads, and they come in different configurations. I use a product called Silhouette Instalift, and my disclosure is I don't have any financial or I'm not a spokesperson for this particular product. I just use it and I know it works. So what it is, it's a thread that has cones that are opposite of each other. So when I thread that into the face and I pull, it anchors and lifts and anchors again. So it
So it gives it a teeny tiny lift back. And again, I want, especially for the audience, to know, I think we all know I'm very blunt about what I do. I post before and afters. I let everyone see. I have reached a point where I've got a little skin. I'm not happy with where it's going. I don't want to cut my face. And we really can't do that much with fillers because it'll change my face.
Correct.
And this is what we're going to do.
So you can do a little bit, yes. So if you needed a facelift, then I would say, hey, listen, Kim, okay, we can do the thread lift, but it's only going to give you this much of a lift. So it's not in lieu or in place of a facelift. So it's good for those patients who don't need a lot, like yourself.
Yeah.
You're
Just
still
just
young.
a little
you
bit of
just
that.
need just a little bit of a lift.
Yeah.
And you can put in various amounts of threads to kind of suspend that, and it's just going to buy you a little bit of time. Eventually, you're going to need a facelift.
Did you hear that, Wendy? It's going to buy me a little bit of time.
I think you're gorgeous the way you are.
Oh, well, thank you.
So I have a
I do too,
question.
though. I just want to keep it this way.
Yes.
What do you do like with a hereditary turkey chin?
Yeah, it's a good question, actually. Very good
It's a-
question.
please.
It's a I'm a skinny person, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's my
Yeah.
family's chin. I
Yeah.
don't like it.
So lots of different options. It depends on whether it's due to some extra fat in there that's kind of weighing down your skin. So you can do a little bit of liposuction in the area to reduce that bulk, and so it lays up nicer. You can do threads also in the neck have also been shown to suspend those tissues up.
That'll be my next one.
You can do you can even do neck lifts as far as going down the route of surgery.
What about the one where they poke all the holes in you?
Yeah, so that's
called?
Kybella. Here, I don't
I have a
use
friend
Kybella.
that did that.
There's so
I
much
don't
out there, it's
recommend it.
overwhelming.
I don't do it, and I don't recommend it only because, okay, lots of reasons. A, it's not cheap. B, okay, if you had all the money in the world, okay, fine. You have to go every month. It's one treatment per month for about 3 treatments. So each time you have a treatment, your neck swells up.
That's not happening for me.
No.
And then
Can't walk around this.
and then once all that inflammation resolves, then did it do anything? Did it not do anything? Oh, I'm coming up to my next treatment. Let's do it again. It swells up again for however long.
Oh no.
Then it goes down, and you go back
You're-
to your
you
third
already-
one.
I'm sold. I'm
So
not doing
it's
it.
like you have this series of neck swelling, and all of a sudden it's like it didn't do anything, and now you've
Right.
spent all that money. Where I could have done liposuction in the office,
Yep.
literally a half-hour procedure,
Not even putting you
and
to
it's
sleep.
done.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons why I come to this man, because he's not, it's not about the money. It literally is about how he can improve your life. So
I
I've
think
got a
so.
fun little question. This is kind of along the lines of my interview questions that I use. I want you all to think about plastic surgery when answering this question. And I'm going to start with Wendy because she's kind of been through the questions before.
Okay.
So when it comes to plastic surgery, what is your favorite word?
Okay. Unknown
Unknown.
for myself. That's because I
Yes.
said I'm just starting to go look at
So
that.
she's your favorite word is unknown because you're starting to inquire.
Correct.
Gotcha. Ashlee.
Mine would be confidence when
I
I
like
think
that.
of plastic surgery.
I like that. Doctor.
Very good. Exciting.
He just wants to cut people open.
Cut.
Yes. I would say for me it's confidence. Yeah. Even though everyone tells me that, oh, why? And you probably get the same thing. I have to feel confident. I do in how I look in the mirror. And that's very, very important. And especially as we're getting older, because there's something we lose. As I've gotten older, I feel like I've lost a bit of my sexiness in the way I look on the outside, but I certainly feel damn sexy on the inside.
Yeah.
So that brings me to our least favorite word in plastic surgery. What would be your least favorite word?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to go with unknown.
Yeah.
Again.
It's totally true.
Yeah.
It works on both.
And I will tell you, like years and years ago, I had something done. It was something that bothered me for years. It's a big secret. And it actually made me worse.
Oh.
So
Can you-
that's probably where that's stemming from.
Do you want to share at all? It's
Sure.
just a safe space.
This is like admitting big stuff, but I posted a picture in my bikini on my other one. You saw that?
Yeah.
Remember the caption? It said,
Yeah.
"I'm so fat."
Yeah.
I look back at the picture and I think, but anyway, it was an area that I hated, and I said, I remember in high school saying, one day, if they invent this contraption that sucks your fat out, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So about 15 years ago, I had lipo on my stomach, and it made my stomach much worse and all bumpy. It's really,
about
it was
Yeah.
such a reverse.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about this, I see where all my comments are coming from.
Yeah.
And it just really disappointed me. So maybe that's where a lot of the fears, I know
bet.
where they're coming
Yeah.
from.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, if you see me, you'd be like, what are you talking about? But when you can see my stomach, I loved to wear a bikini, and now I'm like,
Well, when we get to Doc, I'm sure he'll tell us how to fix that.
Sure, absolutely.
But I get that because when I first did Botox, I went to a friend and the person put so much into my face, my whole eyelids kind of drooped. And I'm like, oh my God, is my face ever going to go back? Because it's almost like like you said, we look back and why? Why did we even think that that was something? But it is fixable. It is fixable.
There are options. There's
Yeah.
always options.
Ashlee, what's your least favorite word?
Ooh, I want to say expectation.
That's a good one.
She's smart.
Yeah.
I like her.
This is least favorite word?
Yes,
In
least
plastic surgery?
favorite
Plastic
in
surgery.
plastic surgery.
I want to say regret.
Yeah, that's a
Because-
good one. Regret.
In
Yeah,
life in
and-
general.
But when you said disappointment, I'm like, disappointment too, because I never want my patients to feel regret
Yeah.
for for anything that they've done or disappointed about the results.
Yeah.
Because there are many patients that unfortunately have bad results.
It's like a counseling session in a way. I
Yes.
mean, really, like I would never have admitted this to you guys. I shouldn't say admitted to because
Yeah.
it's so acceptable today. But like it was for years. I waited and I had the money. I had that, and this is this doctor in Desert Ridge, and it was just such a balloon popper for me.
Yeah.
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 I can see that.
I would say mine is trendy.
Ooh.
I got my first set of implants because it was trendy.
Oh,
Pamela Anderson was the trend setter. And in 1990, I put a lien on my car
Oh my
that
gosh.
I could have
Wow.
Pamela Anderson knockers.
sure.
Oh,
They're
boy.
they're
Oh, yeah.
very beautiful. Don't get me wrong.
Yes,
But I have scars under my arms that I hate, and they're just too large. But again, do you go back and fix them? And there's all that procedure that you
fear.
went through, and
That's
that
right.
fear. And
What ifs?
that's probably why I have you be so gentle on me. But I totally regret that. Again, looks great, but my confidence, I'd rather not have them now. I wish I hadn't have followed the trend.
Well, I think we've matured in our thinking. Like on the flip side, I feel sexier than ever.
Yeah.
But things are all just going cattywampus, and what am I going to do? But look at like the butts today. Like,
Yeah.
that's gross to me. And doesn't matter what I think. I'm I'm not Instagram famous, but to me, I
Not
think
yet.
She will be.
well, there's these things that are happening. I
Yeah.
think,
Oh my
Yeah.
God. It's out of control.
So my mother, when I was about 16,
Yeah.
my butt was not in, and she was like, maybe we should look into a procedure to make it smaller.
that was the thinking, though. That was the thinking.
It was, and now it's how big can we make it?
Yeah.
And hey, mine's totally on trend. I didn't have to do anything, but again, it's a trend thing. So think about if I would have taken out some of whatever you would do back then. I don't even know. I wouldn't have it today,
Right.
which is it. That's what I mean by trend. They come in and out, and you really need to focus on what you want to look like forever.
Or what you feel like. I think
Yeah.
the confidence is probably the common denominator
Yeah.
all across the board. I have the worst ass in the universe. Thank you,
I think,
Mother.
Doc, you can fix that too.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I've decided that I can't see it,
Yeah.
so it's fine.
Right.
But I've
awesome.
decided that it is what it is. I mean,
I have a friend that said, I only see myself coming, not going. So there you go.
right.
Doc, when you have someone that's come in and they've had a little bit of a botched surgery, there are solutions, there are answers.
Yes, there usually is for the most part. There are some different options that we can do. Just depends, obviously, on the extent of the botched procedure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's always good to, if you're curious, to find out if there's
I'm
any
curious.
options.
I'm probably going to show
Is
you
that-
later.
Let's go in the bathroom.
Is that common, do you think?
With liposuction,
Yeah.
it can be. It's one of the risks, and if it's not done correctly, it can leave some contour irregularities. For example, maybe they sucked out too much over here, and not enough over here, so now you've got a shark bite, and it's visible through clothing. But the human body, we're not completely smooth.
No.
So we have contour
I feel like everybody
irregularities,
else is, though.
Which are natural.
So-
But it shouldn't be like a shark bite. It shouldn't be like too much was sucked out here, not enough here, and now there's a grossly.
Like if I want to wear like the top you have on, like I want to wear a nice sheer dress, I'm like, like that's. But I think it may be more in my head. I don't know, but I do think they don't have it. So
I fully believe in just diet and exercise, but I have a different gene pool. I've just been very fortunate. I thought about lipo a lot, but again, that there was that fear for me too. And I think if we've done everything we can naturally to lose the weight, and then we come to a point where there's some skin or a little bit here that we just can't get off. Everyone has cellulite. I don't care who you are. My husband, who has like 4% body fat or some craziness, I saw a dimple on his butt. I swear I did. It was a little hairy, but no, I'm just kidding. But yes, I think we all have the ability to make the decision on how we want to look. Wendy, we've talked about this before, but you are a hugely successful real estate agent. I think you're never not in your car showing or going to an appointment. So thank you so much for coming on today as well. Tell us what you do to keep that going. That's difficult.
I naturally just jump out of bed and skip around the house. That's just my disposition. But I will say, since I was on your show last time, I've gotten more into podcasts, and I do search for motivational, whether it's inspirational, motivational. I do a little bit of meditation at night. I'm just really in a space now of just getting in a great space in my heart and my soul. So
I love that.
Whatever that looks like. And we also, I don't know if I told you that we started emotional intelligence coaching. You guys, that is unbelievable. It gives me goosebumps just saying it.
With your whole group, right?
Yeah. And we did it once a quarter. We're done for the year. But Tiger Woods, kind of just to give you an idea, his comeback, he hired his own emotional intelligence coach. That's not why we did it, but it has been life-changing. How we deal with our clients, our family, our friends, ourselves. Self-talk. I'm so fat today. Would I ever say, you look fat? You're fat today. Like you never say to somebody.
Such a good point. Oh my God.
It was poignant.
You're right. You're
obvious, right?
Yeah.
But it's brought a lot of really good insight for myself anyway. So if you ever have a chance.
I noticed that you did start your own little Instagram. 50 is a...
Mindfuck?
Yes. You're allowed to say it. Plug your ears, child.
No, it's I'm very passionate about it. I'm so excited. And, you and I are going to talk more about that. But I started the Instagram to sort of, I've got so far 70 subjects of, I know there's the 45s and there's a large umbrella that could show. But it just, for me, the onion opened at 50 when my dad died. And there's this huge shift of glasses that you put on and you see things so much differently. So I'm super excited. So hopefully we'll be starting that in January. Yeah. So if you're not, if you're on Instagram, 50 is a mind fuck is tongue in cheek. Yeah. It's pretty raw and I swear and it's who I am. So I'm excited.
I think I'm going to bring a camera to your first appointment with Dr. Bonillias. He does allow that, Yeah. We'll put it on your IGTV.
That's fine. I'm also more confident than ever as far as like, I would never have told you that story.
I love that you did. That's beautiful. I love it.
Thanks.
Ashlee.
So I am a huge, if I could repeat my normal morning, my alarm clock goes off at 5:30. I take my medicine and then I lay in bed till 6:30. Then I get up, get in the shower. It's either blasting music, usually when I'm in the shower, or podcast. I love podcasts. So I'm always searching I love Rachel Hollis and Lewis Howes, and the list could just go on and on and on. So it depends on my mood.
And what a lot of people don't know about Ashlee being, how many businesses are you running right now? Like 4 or 5? No. It's quite a few.
I've calmed down a little bit. I've definitely taken like a step back and reevaluated, what my passions are and what I really want to focus on.
But you have Addison's disease.
Right. Yeah.
And you've been challenged with that your entire life. And it's gotten a little worse and it's gotten better. But
it has its ups and downs.
On top of everything you do, on top of being a mom with 3 boys, running your businesses, you wake up, you prepare yourself, and you're ready for your day.
Every morning, they're literally, unless I'm at my deathbed, I'm putting on makeup. I'm getting up, taking a shower, putting on my makeup. I don't care if it's Sunday. I'm not going to go check the mail without my makeup on. Like it gives me confidence. It's just part of who I am, my routine, and there's something to be said when you look good on the outside?
Yeah.
Do you feel good on the inside? So tell everyone, get up, get dressed every day.
That was one thing that my parents instilled in me is there's always an occasion, and we talked about this, to get dressed up. For me, I'm pretty lazy. I don't like wearing a lot of makeup and that, but it does call for it. And when you do dress up and when you do put on the clothes and the makeup and get the hair done, I came into this podcast ready to go. I'm Tenacious T today. It right. does. It gives you that. And you're absolutely right. And it's okay if you need to do that every day. If you want to wake up and feel that way, that's exactly what you need to do. Yeah, and you're living proof of it.
It doesn't take forever. I mean, if you practice and you get in a routine, I can put my makeup on in 8 minutes.
8
minutes.
8 minutes.
Yeah, she's good.
Wow.
Yeah. 8 minutes. And then I can throw my hair up in a pony
Amber,
if I want
do you hear that?
Yes. You might want to give her a call.
I know.
Well, I mean, I don't get much time in the morning raising the 3 boys. So it's like I'm trying to get them ready. I'm like, okay, I know I want to get up and get ready and do my makeup and my hair and put clothes on. How can I do this in the quickest amount of time and still get them to school on time?
You've got a website and social media that, I watch it all the time, but these are the tips that you give out, fashion tips, makeup tips, how to get this done quickly and still live your life. What's in my box? Exactly.
That's the new big one.
That's fun.
So the What's in My Box is really fun. I have a lot of people that are on Instagram that send me like really cool stuff, skincare. So I get to try a ton of new skincare and products. And I know you do with me. And it's fun. And then I have the YouTube channel with like tips and tricks on makeup and different in-home procedures you can do on yourself if you may not have the money to go out and get, microneedling or they're just ways to, it doesn't have to be expensive. You can figure out how to do it at home. And then Instagram is like fashion and makeup and it's all just whatever I feel like doing. There's no rhyme or reason, honestly. Yeah. It's just fun. I just want to have fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent.
So you had a little more time to think? Does your wife have anything to do with your turn on in the morning? No, I'm kidding.
Well, absolutely. I mean, all the time. But, my mornings consist of, my alarm clock goes off, I would say about 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. And I jump in the shower. And I usually try to go to the gym before I start my day. Yeah. And I think that's what really helps me out a lot. If I don't go to the gym, I'm pretty miserable.
Oh, yeah.
What is it called again?
What gym?
Yeah, exactly. Shut up.
I don't know him.
What's wrong? Yeah.
That's that skinny
Beautiful
girl thing,
and
right?
Skinny,
Yeah,
whatever.
Beautiful and skinny, exactly. One commonality, and I'm sure you guys picked up on it, everybody here does wake up and they're ready to go. And the reason for that is because you love what you do. Mm-hmm. If you didn't love what you do, you couldn't do that.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. And I love my life.
Yeah.
I mean, we get one.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And many people,
Absolutely.
though, don't view it like that.
No, they don't.
I think a lot of people don't know their purpose, and I love the saying, my passion is for me, but my purpose is for you.
Yes.
I'm passionate about what I do, and my purpose is to serve others, and that's what gets me up every day.
Well said.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
You love what you do. You don't work a day in your life.
No. That is so true. Yeah. So that pill you're working on to reverse the aging, can we get that like sooner rather than later?
Hopefully.
I'm kidding, obviously.
Billionaire in the making.
Yeah. We would hope so.
Trillionaire.
Absolutely. I would love that.
So this question is just for the doctor, because I love to ask, especially very successful people. Again, you own Scottsdale Plastics. You've been in the Valley for how many years now?
10 years.
10 years in the Valley. So you really are solidified in what you do. But what if there was no such thing as plastic surgery? Take that off the table. You can't be a doctor. You can't be in the medical field. What would you have done? Think back to that kid, maybe in high school, maybe that 5-year-old. What would you have done?
Good question. Actually, I come from a family of mechanics. So when I grew up, all my friends were going to summer camp, and I was going to the shop with my dad to work on cars. So
Nice.
I actually thought that I was going to be a mechanic like my father. He owned his own shop in Tucson and had it for years, and his
I love that.
father had it, and my dad's brother had it. I mean, it's just a family of mechanics. So I grew up thinking that's what I was going to do, is be a mechanic like my dad. But I mean, if you really think about it, I am a mechanic.
Yeah.
I'm a mechanic of
You
humans.
are. That's why I like to ask that question, because you went from fixing and beautifying cars to fixing and beautifying humans. You do the lipo, and you will do butt augmentation, breast augmentation.
Yeah.
You take out the extra skin, maybe if someone's lost a lot of weight.
Arm lifts,
like
of course.
arm lifts. I know that you do pretty much everything else.
I do.
on there.
So I'm a board certified plastic surgeon. So for those of you that don't know, what does board certification mean? I think if we have enough time, maybe we can just
go
talk
ahead.
about
Yeah,
this because
absolutely.
it's very important. A lot of people don't know that they're going to a non-plastic surgeon for
Yeah.
procedures, and
Yep.
many of you may have heard of this. So there are
No.
I
a
have
lot
not.
of doctors who are not trained in surgery doing surgery in their offices. So
Yep.
what does this mean? A physician gets a license to practice surgery, medicine and surgery in Arizona. So they can do whatever they want in their office, and they can be board certified by, and I'm just going to give an example, and I'm not picking on anyone, but let's just say family practice. So they're board certified in family practice, and all of a sudden they say, hey, you know what? I'm not, I may want to do some liposuction in my office, so I'm going to take a weekend course, learn how to do liposuction, and then I
Oy.
can offer that in my office.
Yikes.
Well, even a
So-
dentist could do that.
And what they call themselves is cosmetic surgeons. They can call themselves cosmetic surgeons because they're doing cosmetic surgery,
Yeah.
and they can call themselves board certified cosmetic surgeons.
Wow.
How confusing is that,
That
right?
is.
Very.
So what does this mean? What is board certification by cosmetic surgery? There is no such board certification recognized by the American Board of Medical Specialties,
Yeah.
Wow.
which governs all the different medical specialties that we have here in the United States. So board certification in cosmetic surgery is not a real board certification recognized. So just be careful when you are going to these consultations. You want to make sure that you are seeing a board certified plastic surgeon by
Yep.
the American Board of Plastic Surgery.
Yeah.
Wow, good.
Well, Ashlee, tell us again who you are and how we can get a hold of you.
All right. So Ashlee Miller, and I'll spell it out for you. On Instagram, it's Ashlee, ASHLEE Miller, AZ. And then on Facebook, it's Ashlee Miller Artistry. And on YouTube, it's Ashlee Miller. And I think that's it. Yeah.
And you have to watch her YouTube videos. They're fun to watch. And I feel like I can so connect with you too, because you really do take it down to, okay, this is really what I look like.
Yeah,
and
no
this is how you
makeup.
do it. And she's still gorgeous. I mean, but you get it. Wendy, how do we get a hold of you? And tell us about your new Instagram channel.
So this is Instagram. It's 50, one word. 50 is a mind fuck, the number 50. And I'm just starting it. So if you guys have any friends that you think can handle the humor and want to contribute, and I'm starting to pose questions, and I want people to be honest. And we did one recently where I said, tell me what you hate the most about being 50 and tell me what you love about it. And I got some really honest, heartbreaking and lovely answers as well. So I'm trying to open up conversation that people think that they're the only one. So
Yeah.
I have one more comment I'd like to make.
No, yeah, go ahead.
To wrap this up, Rachel Ray, we all have heard of Rachel Ray, who was on a talk show recently, and she's 50. And I was like, she's 50? Oh, wait, I'm 50. Okay, yeah, got it. She's such an entrepreneur. And she said, I can't believe I'm so grateful to be 50 and relevant and be a female.
Wow.
And it just, I was like, wow, there's a lot of that. So listening to you beautiful women talking about what we're talking about is interesting because I don't see what probably you guys see in the mirror,
Well, I had gotten, I have this tattoo on my hand that says I am. And when I'm looking in the mirror and I'm putting my makeup on, I can see it.
Ah.
And I remind myself, like, I always say, don't talk dirty to yourself is what I say, because talking dirty, like, you might be talking about your belly or your butt or whatever.
Right.
But my I am tattoo is to remind myself, like, I am a good mom. I am smart. I am
Yes.
funny. I am successful.
That's awesome.
And I just constantly do that when I'm putting on my makeup in the morning or doing my hair because I
Yeah.
can see it. in
I
the
love
reflection.
that.
It's not hidden.
And you've got one of your sons behind you, and I brought him up here for a reason. If he wants to come on the microphone. That is the other thing that I watch about you all the time, Ashlee, is you involve your children in everything you do. It is so hard as an entrepreneur to do that. And I'm sorry, young man, what is your name? Come on up to the mic and tell us your name. If you want to, you don't have to.
It's Colby.
It's Colby.
I think he's in my most recent What's in Your Package video that I just posted.
Yes.
I think
yes.
I saw that.
Yeah, because
Nice
he's so
job,
cute.
Colby.
That's such a good
Well,
job.
we want him to say things, but half the time my kids freeze up a little bit too, and that's
Yeah.
okay. But I wanted to show the audience too that he's been here this whole time, and
made a peep.
and this is what you do. You take your children with you, and you can do it. You can have your kids right there next to you, and you can run a successful business. Doctor has his wife in the office with him, which we love. I love seeing her every time I go in, and again, this is about a culture that you've created for yourself in your businesses. You have life skills that you guys are working together and changing in your group that are very effective. You've been able to figure out how to really just search for your dreams, meet them, implement them, and maintain your family and your involvement with your family. And Doctor, you're absolutely a miracle worker, number one. But again, your whole business is part of your family.
Absolutely. You know, we treat everyone like their family, and we really want everyone to have a good experience at the office. So
yeah, I love it. Well, this is Kimberly Toko, Tenacious T.
Dr. Bonillas with Scottsdale Plastics.
Ashlee Miller.
And her son.
Colby.
And
Wendy Ortiz with Coldwell Banker. Out.
I'm not heading for the stars, driving down the boulevard at night. Playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. And it doesn't even matter to me where I go, I just feel I need to take a ride. Got my coffee cup to go, and I'm gonna hit the road tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my